Coming to get you, Barbara.
Here's Johnny.
You like scary.
Guess who's back? Back again. Scared Speechless back. Tell a friend.
Tell a friend. Guess who's back?
Yeah. Hey, everybody, and welcome back to Scared Speechless, the podcast where two Filipino Catholic girls try and find the words to describe our favorite and least favorite horror films. I am your host, Jake, along with my co-host, Aaron.
We're back!
We're back.
Oh,
We are, in
I'm
fact.
so happy.
It felt really genuinely
I'm
good to
so
say
excited.
that. Like the serotonin that just came to me from saying those words.
It's so much fun.
Yes.
I'm so excited, guys. Season 2.
Season 2, we're back. There's
Season
most
2 of
likely
Scared
I'm gonna
Speechless.
work on a well, obviously we're recording this a little bit ahead, as we tend to do. However, guys, I am going to you probably already heard it, so it's stupid for me to mention it, but for new people, yeah, there's probably gonna be a different intro. I'm thinking about making a new intro for season 2 of
All
Scared
right.
Speechless. So, as much as I liked the old one, I think we can do a little bit better. So hopefully, you guys like whatever I decide or we decide to go with for the new one. Anyway, yes. So obviously, we have been on a bit of a hiatus. I think the last episode we uploaded was the end of December of last year. So it's been
Yep.
several months, which is something I do want to address. We are going to be making shorter episodes, so I don't want to get too much into it, but I do want to address it. Yeah, guys, mental health is something that should be taken seriously, and I think at the end of last year, I realized that I kind of had burnt myself out mentally. I was really strained and stressed, and yeah, so thank you to Aaron, who was a great friend through that time and has been really understanding throughout the entire time of me being away from all this. But
Dude. Well, that like you said, mental health is very important.
Yeah.
You got to take it very seriously. And you got to take care of yourself. And like you're my buddy, man. Like I want to make sure that you're doing
Yeah.
okay before we
Now
get
that
I
we are
into
here.
this. But now that
Me
we're
too.
here, I
Yeah.
am
So that's
very
why
excited.
we've been away, guys, for a while. We've both also been busy with stuff, but yes, that's the reason for the hiatus. But we are back. We are going to be doing things a little bit differently, a little bit less structured. If you're a returning fan, you may have noticed even towards the tail end of last year, we started leaning away from the structure of things and just kind of making it more of a conversation. You know, Aaron is still going to bring his fantastic personality and charm and wit. I'm still going to bring, I guess, my film degree to the table during the conversations, but it's not going to be as structured as like, yeah,
A
you know,
significant
we're still
part,
going to bring
but-
each what we bring to the table. It's just going to be less like, oh, likes, dislikes, pros,
Right.
cons, that sort of stuff. Just talking about the movie, less structured. I don't even think we need to do synopsises anymore, because if you're clicking on the video, you've either seen the movie and or you don't care about spoilers. So, yeah. Anyway, with all that aside, let's start talking about the movie. Like, what are we talking about, Aaron?
Damn.
Eerie.
We're talking about Eerie. Eerie, it was came out in 2018. Has an IMDb rating of 4.7
Interesting.
out of 10. Is this
Yeah.
the right one?
Yeah.
No, it is. Yeah. It's an hour 41 minutes long. It was directed by Mikhail Reed. Written by Mariah Aureldeca, Mikhail Red, and Ray
Family
Red.
ordeal.
It stars B. Alonso, Charo Santos Concio, and Jake Cuenca.
Yeah.
I don't think they're
This
very
might
well.
have been the first Filipino film that I've seen. I don't think I've seen a Filipino film before, which is crazy because I've seen a lot of foreign films.
Man, you know what? It's like crazy how like present Filipino culture is to me now for no reason other than like it's just like for whatever reason one of my biggest like I don't know, like category of things that I could see on TikTok, like one of those is like Filipino TikTok.
You're just a
I
big
don't know
you're just a
why.
big
And I
fan of
got
their culture
flooded.
and what they got going on. So it makes
Evidently
sense. I mean,
so.
you did this was your
Yeah.
recommendation. Yeah, this was your
They made a pretty good
recommendation.
movie.
How did you stumble across this movie?
Mm-hmm. You fucking know, but he just wants to make me say it. I was scrolling through Daily Mail, and
Mm.
there was just like an article that was like, people are freaking out. I think it literally said like freaking out or like something stupid, that like about this movie, and it's on Netflix. It's called Eerie, and it's really scary
Oh,
that
it's like
people are
it's
freaking
a
out. And I'm
Veronica
like,
situation,
okay,
right? Well, that was the
I
movie that
guess,
like it
I
was like 2
guess,
years ago. All those articles came out. It was like I think it was like was it no not Veronica. Was it Veronica? It's something with a V, but it was like that foreign film
oh
that
sure,
people were like, "Oh, the scariest movie to ever be released scientifically or whatever." And it was some Netflix movie, and then a bunch of people actually watched it. And I never saw it, but a bunch of people
yeah,
were like, "Yeah, this is just your run of the mill movie." But either way, I like that that's the
yeah.
origin that led us to talking about this movie. So yeah, I
Yeah.
what did you think about it?
Uh, well, I thought it was not
No,
nearly as scary as
not at
people
all.
were making it out to be. It was like as soon as you see like the monsters, I guess. I don't know. Do we
Yeah,
are we
well,
still
full
going
spoilers, guys. You've
to
either
like
seen the
spoil stuff?
movie and or if you're still
Fair enough.
we're gonna talk about the movie. So if you don't want to hear about specific scenes, then I don't know, go watch the
Yeah.
movie or just keep sticking around. But yeah, so I mean, base plot
There you go.
basically you have this school of Catholic girls, and the guidance counselor is
Mhm.
trying to save the students because they're all rattled because this one girl committed suicide, and so they're all freaked out. But yeah, going back to what you were
Yeah.
saying. I think initially they kind of had me. Like I was spooked a little bit towards the beginning, but then they just
Oh,
kept showing the
yeah.
character, the demon girl, Eerie, whatever her name is, the girl who killed herself, Eddie. Yeah,
Eddie.
the main
It was like
character, the guidance counselor woman.
Erika.
She keeps seeing Eddie show up throughout the movie. And because they kept showing her, every time they showed her, it was subsequently less scary. It was kind of like the same issue I had with like the Babadook, where the more you show the Babadook, the less scary the character is. You
Mm,
know?
right. Yeah. I was like, yeah. As soon as I saw the two like main things, I was just like, all right, this is not that scary actually. And I just like it's one thing that I was like kind of talking to you with about um that like I just don't know if I'm desensitized or it just generally was not
I
that scary.
mm,
It's because I have like I don't know what I would have said before we started this
no, that's
podcast, you know what I
entirely
mean?
fair. I think with anything, like the more you're exposed to something, the less. That's why, like, I mean, I've had
Right.
people like bring up to me like, oh, because like, oh, you went to film school, so you watched a lot of movies. Like, does it like ruin your like enjoyment of movies? And I always say like, no. It just like it does make it harder to find something that you find genuinely great, and especially with like horror, the more horror you watch,
Right.
the less
Ugh,
or the harder
yes.
it's going to be yeah,
Been
the
so
for horror
critical of
it's like
horror.
horror and comedy, like the funnier movie you see, the harder it's going to be to find that comedy that makes you burst out laughing. Same with horror, it's going to be harder to find something that
Right.
genuinely like that's
Right.
the one thing I'm wondering with like gore, because like I keep seeing movies that like I feel like keep pushing the boundaries of gore, and I'm wondering what's going to be that like moment
Right.
where it's like what's too far. But I don't know, is there too far with gore? I
Right.
don't think so. I love good gore in movie.
Hmm.
Like,
I'm trying to think. It'd
well,
probably
speaking
be
of gore, you
fucking
know what
disgusting.
we just rewatched recently? Me and my roommate Michelle, we watched *Malignant* again, which we will absolutely be talking about
Oh
on this
my
podcast at some
god,
point.
dude.
But I
That's
forgot how
so funny.
absolutely brutal the gore and violence in that movie is. Like, that's I wish that bringing it back to this movie, because I don't want to get too off topic, but I wish this movie had like there's
Yeah.
nothing to like chew on. There's not like a specific scene or a moment or like really a lot to like. If someone was like, "Oh, like what's the most iconic, memorable scene in this movie?" I couldn't really give them an answer, and I think that's kind of telling.
Yeah. Yeah. I just like I don't know. I did think it was interesting. It was definitely like I
That's
thought
the
it was a
thing is
pretty
I
good
actually thought the
story.
premise and the setup was
Um
pretty good, and I actually found the lead actress and the main
right.
character, the guidance counselor woman, to be a pretty interesting character to follow throughout the movie.
That's what I was just about to say. Like I just thought it was like such an interesting perspective to take, and then
It's one of
I don't
those
know, it was just
weird
so
scenarios for
interesting.
me where I think I mentioned this to you already, but it functions better as just a movie
Yeah.
than it does a horror movie. Like I think the
Mm.
like the camera work, the
Yeah.
cinematography is actually pretty solid. Like it's pretty well shot. Um, even though there's not like a super distinct shot or scene that I can remember
Yeah.
visually that's like super standout. I think as I remember noting in my
Mhm.
app like what I was watching the movie like, oh, it is pretty well shot. The performances are pretty solid even from the kid actors, which is usually a pretty surprising thing when you get pretty convincing kid actors. Like a lot of the components were there,
Yeah.
but it's just what you want from this movie. Like you want it to like freak you out. You want it to like leave you bone chilled, and it just outside of like maybe
Absolutely.
the first time you see Eddie, it doesn't ever really hit you again, and which is disappointing.
Right. Yeah, I know. Even like before I watched it, like when I read the description for it, like on IMDb, it says when a student suicide rattles an all girls Catholic school, a clairvoyant guidance counselor leans on a ghost to uncover the convent's abusive past. I don't know about you. I thought it was gonna get like with that description, that
Hmm.
was like the only thing I had to go off of. Um, I thought it was gonna be a lot
Yeah,
darker than it
they
was,
really don't
and like
take any
not
risks. Like it's
the no, it was they
very
really kind
safe.
of played
Yeah.
it safe in that aspect, and I was just like, I don't
No,
know,
and that's
I wasn't a fan of that.
they
I was like,
they build it
they
up like it's a
had an
mystery, right?
opportunity
Like
to
there's
like
going to be this big reveal
right,
and like you're led to believe
right,
throughout most of the movie that like the head mother or head nun whatever is like abusive and she kind of is um but like they never
right.
do anything with it. They never really go the extra mile to make it seem
No,
like the situation is that dire. Like other than like yeah, I mean
oh
obviously starting
shit,
off a movie with like the fact that oh
yeah,
this like young girl, this young student killed herself recently is already like but you other than the initial
yeah,
hook in where it's like I do like the premise. I do think the main character is interesting to follow. I do think that the setup for the story is interesting and like the pieces are there for it to be a good movie, but it never like comes to fruition. It doesn't ever like and by the end of it like you're just
no,
left kind of cold like the ending like actually
right,
to be fair I did really like that scene but again it's not like a scary scene, it's just like a decently well shot and well acted scene but where the main character goes to
mm.
talk to the young girl who she's trying to save throughout the movie, the one who I think cuts her wrists earlier through earlier on in the movie. Yeah, when she goes and sits
Yeah,
with her at the
yeah,
end of the film because she's like about to jump, like that, I thought that was good. I was like, that's
yeah,
powerful, but that good scene at the end isn't enough to like get me to love this movie, you know?
right, right. Ah, no,
Yeah,
I just loved
that
it.
was a great scene.
Like that was
Again,
like
another
really nice
example. It
ending.
functions better as like it almost functions better as like a drama than it does a horror film, but it's just
Hmm.
so lacking in the horror elements that it really takes away.
Yeah. Well, I just like I also appreciated that it had like the
Mm.
the tropes in there. Like so notable ones is like I'm gonna close the medicine cabinet and like I'm gonna do that a few fucking times or something like that. Or like I'm gonna look in the mirror a
Yeah.
couple times and when
The
I look
tropes were all
back, someone's
there.
gonna be there.
I like the
After like the
location
third
too. I
time.
know we said like we like the premise, but I think the
Yeah.
location is cool. Like I've watched a lot of horror movies in the last, couple months and you start to see so many repetitive locations, but The Catholic school is nice because I already
Right.
think like there with like the religious elements, you already get a little bit of that creep factor.
Right.
But yeah, also I really wish that they would have. I'm always a big fan of like monster design or demon or ghost design, and they really should have done something
Yeah.
like a little bit more intense or creepy with Eerie, other than just like the typical stereotypical like pale white ghost face. It just didn't hit.
Right. And like for whatever reason, disgusting.
Yeah, the teeth were okay, but
What? Why do they have to like?
maybe it's
do that
like
with
when
the
you're a
teeth,
ghost,
though?
you're in this like trapped area where like your teeth rot, where
Where
there's
you
no.
can't brush your teeth.
Oh my God, you're in current America where you don't have dental care.
Oh shit! Damn, getting political.
Sometimes you
on
gotta.
the show.
Yeah.
Season
But
2.
what
I
did you
guess
think of the
so.
music? I
Yeah,
thought the
maybe.
music was solid for the most part. Like it's got that like choir-esque classical element to it that I kind of vibed with.
Man, I'm trying to remember.
No, I know that's
trying
the
to remember
problem.
the
We were supposed
music.
to record this episode
think-
a couple days ago.
No, no. Well, it's just that like I don't know. I'm not
It's
sure
not
it was
super
entirely
distinct.
memorable.
I just thought it was okay.
But I believe it. I believe it like worked for
Mhm.
like where it was at. You know,
It's not that type of horror
But
score you'd listen to on your
ultimately
own.
not
Yeah.
nothing like.
Yeah. No,
crazy.
yeah, I feel you. Yeah,
Right,
no,
right,
it
right.
wasn't great. I really wish that there was more to talk about with this movie, but there's not a lot to pull
Yeah.
from it other than like it is incredibly overhyped.
Yeah.
I think this is a, and I don't mean this in a negative way. I don't want to sound condescending to anybody listening, but I think if you haven't watched
Right.
a ton of horror films or you're newer to the genre, I think maybe you watch this and you can definitely get some creeps, the creep factor. The location's creepy. You get the ghost girl. I always think like kids are creepier than like,
Yeah.
an adult. So you get the creepy ghost kid. The music is there. There's some good suspense with some of the shots and how it's edited. Like again, like the pieces are there. I think your person who hasn't seen a ton of horror films may get scared by this. But if you've seen a fair amount of horror films or if you're super well versed in the genre, you're probably not going to have a lot of fun with this movie.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Like I'm trying
I
to
wouldn't
think, is
say
there any
so.
like distinct scenes or like scare wise, like other than like the great emotional scene that we saw at the end, but like is there like a single scene? The only one I could think of is the bathroom scene, the first scene where she wakes up and she goes to the
The
bathroom.
bathroom scene.
That's it.
I'm thinking about like how. Well, I also like the
intro was good,
Oh
yeah,
gosh, you know something?
That
I
you- yeah.
loved the intro.
No,
The
good
intro
call.
was really nice because it like the shots that they took and like it just made it feel so much like the title. You know, like it had that eerie feel to it. It's like it's not like
It's eerie.
scary. It's not like creepy. It's like specifically it's eerie.
No, yeah,
I
they
liked
just
it. I
carried a
liked
lot
that
of
a
the
lot.
elements from the opening and the intro over to the rest of the film. It probably just would have
Right.
been. Yeah, I don't know. It felt like they were
Right.
hindered by something. Like I assume a low budget since it is sort of like a one location film. Though, which is a testament to again how like the cinematography I thought was pretty serviceable at least. Yeah, no, there was some
I'd
decent
say.
shots. Like again, nothing stand out, but like some good camera work, some good smooth camera movements. Like anytime like I see camera movements and any shots that are clearly well thought out and I've been watching a lot of James Wan movies recently, and something I always love about his stuff is the camera work is always super personable, and you can really tell like a lot of care and effort and preparation was put into it. And I get that kind of vibe in this movie. Like there's clearly passion behind this movie being put into it. It doesn't feel lazily
Right.
thrown together. I just think the script probably needed more work. They probably could have just added a little more intensity to it, made it a little scarier, gone a little bit further into maybe some more fucked up stuff, some darker stuff, some more twisted elements.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it would have. Then I think it would have like been a little more successful than it is. Then I would think that it would like warrant that article in Daily Mail on Snapchat.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
I can see why this is like one of those movies that's marketed that way. Like it's marketed as like, oh, you won't be able to sleep.
Right.
It's the scariest movie ever. Blah blah blah, and that's like a part of the marketing. Like,
Right.
but I don't know. I didn't hate it. I didn't hate watching it. Is it something that I would choose to watch again?
No.
Probably not.
Yeah, I don't. I honestly, I'd think the same.
Yeah.
I was just, nah. You want to know something? She fell asleep. She was very cozy, but she just fell asleep during it, and I like had to tell her about like what happened after. It was just.
I'll be honest. I didn't fall asleep, but I was kind of close towards the end. I did watch it a little late at night, and I was also in a cozy position. And like sometimes it's not the movie's fault that you fall asleep. Sometimes you're just cozy or whatever. However, there wasn't a lot. Like about halfway through the film, like I got kind of bored with it. And honestly, for a movie being
Right.
an hour and 40, again, I didn't hate watching it, but it did feel longer than the runtime. So I don't blame someone for falling asleep. No disrespect to the filmmakers. Again, I can tell clear effort, passion put into it, but it just didn't land, you know.
I'm sorry. I was just like, while you were saying like no hate to them, I was like fucking. I was just being a hater. I feel so bad.
No, I don't think we were hating on anything. I think all our
I was just like
criticisms
that.
are
I was gonna say like just make better movies.
No, they
But
like,
that's so rude.
I can tell they
worked
tried,
hard.
and I
Yeah.
would like to see their other work. Like this is a director. It's not that I, even though I wasn't blown away, I would definitely see something that they did next. Like I would see
Yeah.
their next piece of
Oh
work,
yeah.
just to see
Oh,
how they
yeah.
progress as a filmmaker. Because you know, there's plenty of filmmakers that start off weak and then you know really knock a film out of the park, and it just takes them a couple
Yeah.
tries to really to hit their stride and whatnot. But
No, if they had like another movie and it was like, I don't know, and if it still had that same kind of vibe, I think I would definitely like it.
yeah,
this one.
no, this is like one of those movies where it's like you can understand why it's not working for a lot of reasons. Again,
Right.
I think the biggest critique, if like I had to narrow it down to one thing that we had discussed, it was the movie plays it very safe. It doesn't, outside of like the initial shock value of a kid committing suicide, which we've seen darker, we've seen done before. You know,
Right.
when you have movies like Hereditary out here having like kids being decapitated, like and stuff like that, like
Yeah, that's pretty.
when you
that's
have
pretty
movies
intense.
doing, and like again, like a movie, like it really depends. Like someone who hasn't seen a lot of horror films may think that starting off a film with a kid's suicide is like really fucked up and it is like pushing the boundaries, whereas like if you've seen a movie like Martyrs, like, or you know, Hereditary, or there's a lot of fucked up movies out there. Even Midsummer, there's like scenes in that movie that like I think would really jar a lot of people, specifically, you know, what is it called, the a Tetstupa scene. You've seen Midsummer, right?
I have.
Yeah, the you know what scene I'm talking about, the cliff scene, regardless.
Yeah.
But
That's not.
but the main point of my
crazy.
argument is there, like, there's a lot more fucked up stuff out there to where it's
Oh,
like
for sure.
nothing in this movie grabs my attention per se.
I get you.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. I just.
Sorry, Daily Mail.
No. I did. I mean, I did enjoy the one scene that was like, she was like in the dark and like had to use matches.
Yes. Oh no. Good.
That
Good.
part I enjoyed.
That was a very, very well executed scene.
Yeah.
Good call bringing that up.
When I was thinking of like really good scenes that like I particularly enjoyed, like that was one thing that came up and it's like sticking with me.
Mm-hmm.
I really did enjoy that. And then when she was like trying to talk to the ghost, I was like, bro,
Yeah.
for real, get the fuck out of there.
Like I really did enjoy following her character. I know I mentioned that already, but like I like
Yeah.
I like the idea of the protagonist of a horror film being a guidance counselor who's really just trying to like genuinely save her students. Like I think that's like a very endearing way to get me invested in the character.
Oh yeah.
But speaking
Yeah, because
of
you got someone to root for, and
you like
her
a good
intentions are pure.
you like a
It's
good
so cool.
protagonist. Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, but the one scene that I did note down is the when she's washing her hands with the trying to wash the hands off the blood, and the blood comes out and everything. You know what I'm talking about? The scene when
Wash the
she's in
hands off the blood.
when she's like washing her hands, like, and
Washing
there's
the
like the
off her
blood.
hands.
You know what I'm saying?
No, just the way you said it.
I
just
didn't
No,
phrase
I
it.
know what you're saying.
Because I
It's
didn't
just
write
like,
very specific notes, but I just remember that scene standing out when she's trying to wash her hands, and there's all the blood, and you know me, I love my buckets of blood. So if there's one scene
Yeah.
that I can like remember,
Oh
visually,
yeah. I do remember that.
if you're gonna give me a horror film, you have to give me blood.
That
Like
freaked me out.
it's
Yeah.
I don't care how. What's the term that they give in Scream 5? Elevated horror, which I don't. You said you still haven't
Elevated
seen it
horror.
yet, but elevated horror. Even if it's elevated horror, I don't care if you're Hereditary and it's about family drama and motherhood, and I don't care. Give me blood at some point in the film. I need blood. It's
I
just
know.
it's a staple of horror. You just
Is that why?
Yeah.
Is that why you like The Shining so much?
yeah,
Yeah.
dude. The Shining's
fucking
incredible.
blood.
That's also why I like Jaws.
That is an
I have-
iconic scene,
I have
though.
my Jaws shirt on right now.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, which would be a good summer horror movie if we were trying to review something in like July or August.
That
'Cause-
sounds amazing.
Yeah, that there's something so warm and cozy about Jaws. Like watching it in the summer, like
Mm.
you got the air conditioner on, maybe cool glass of water.
Right.
This
Dude, that
just
sounds so nice.
and watching it, you got for some reason watching it during the day on like a Sunday, it just hits. It just hits the spot. I don't know.
I think I did do something like that. I watched it on my phone because that's the kind of person I am, and
Just, I'm be better.
and I was eating buffalo cauliflower wings from Target. Sponsor us.
Yeah, my guess.
And I was dipping them in the ranch and I was watching. It was just such a good time. And
Yeah.
like I looked outside and like the sun was out and it was just so relaxing.
Yeah, no, I feel you on that one.
Yeah.
But why are you eating buffalo cauliflower wings and not just like regular buffalo wings?
because sometimes I'm trying to be skinny, but
Chicken's good for you. It's protein.
dude, good for you, protein. Yeah,
Yeah.
but there's also like
Sponsor us, chicken. Just the meat. I just want to be sponsored by a specific meat.
I just want to be sponsored, but
Yeah.
dude, no, like I don't know. The cauliflower wings are nice, man.
Yeah.
You should try making them.
I should.
I've made them before.
I will give them a shot.
It was actually like really cool. I don't know, because I also like the texture, you know.
That's fair.
'Cause it's not
Cauliflower is a
like-
versatile. There you go,
Yeah.
scared speechless people. We're promoting vegetables. Vegetables are
They're
good.
good for you. Don't
Okay,
do
do you think we
drugs
could get sponsored by vegetables?
unless they're free. What's that? By vegetables?
Buy vegetables or Veggie Tales.
Veggie Tales. I was thinking about
bring
that.
back Veggie. Actually, is Veggie Tales still on? Anybody with kids out there, can you let us know if Veggie Tales is still on?
I don't actually know.
Aaron, don't Google it.
I know it's super
Don't Google it.
Christian.
But I feel bad because I know I wanted this episode, and our episodes are going to be shorter for the at least for the time being. But I don't have anything else to say about Eerie. It
really wasn't.
It's unfortunately, guys,
special.
it's one of those movies, and we're gonna run into them. But it's a movie where it's not a movie where we can just sit there and gush about it for 30 to 40 minutes, and it's also not bad enough to where we can just like shit talk it and roast it for 30 to 40 minutes either. So it's kind of in that median, that no man's land area. Shout out Wonder Woman, best scene in that movie. But yeah, it's kind of that middle ground where there's not too much to pull from it. It is a very passable. If you have nothing else to watch, it is a fine movie to throw on, maybe on a rainy day, and get one decent watch out of it. And maybe you'll find it scary.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll find it scary. Maybe me and Aaron are just too cool to be scared. Maybe we're just the cool kids, and we don't want to admit to being scared shitless.
I managed to become more pretentious or as pretentious as a guy with a film degree. Damn it. God damn it.
Job accomplished. Mission accomplished. Successful. But
Oh
yeah,
my
shall
God.
we? So I have an idea. So also, guys, I mentioned the episodes are going to be shorter, but also part of the plan in making them shorter, which will be easier for us to record, is also trying to release them every week instead of every 2 weeks. So you guys will get 4 episodes a month instead of the 2 that we used to do. They will be shorter, a little more compact, but you know what? Who cares? Oh, we didn't rate this movie. Should we rate this movie?
Yeah, absolutely. We can't
Okay.
have our show and not rate it.
So I'm gonna give this a very, very clean 5 Filipino Catholic girls out of 10. That's all I could think. There's nothing even fun to say about this one. But yeah, I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10, guys. I think this is like the definition of a passable, fine movie.
I'm gonna give it say like a 6 fucking nuns out of 10.
That was a long score. Six
Yeah, I was
nuns,
just like
six
trying to.
nuns out of 10.
Yeah,
I could see.
you're right. It's difficult.
I could see a 6. Yeah, there's not. I can't even remember much of the dialogue in this, but no,
No.
I agree with you. 5 or 6, you know. So I don't know what the
I
average
mean-
score is. It'd be what, a 5.5 out of 10.
5.5. Yeah, sure.
Quick. That's quick math, right?
Quick math. Proud of you, bud.
Either way, we'll just say that that's right. 5.5 combined score out of 10. But
Hell
yeah.
yeah.
So guys, I'm not sure when this episode's gonna come out. Obviously when you're listening to it is when it has come out. But either way, Aaron, what do you think about starting our Insidious series?
I'm so excited.
Yeah, we got the Insidious. I think it's the 5th or 6th one coming out in
shit.
July. Insidious: The Red Door. So
I
yeah,
thought
what
they
do you
only
think?
had like 2.
No, I know there's at least 4 or 5.
Fuck.
I think this is actually the 5th one. I think there's 4 previous ones. I have seen all of them. But they are all, at least I think, outside of maybe the 4th one, at least fun to watchable movies. So what do you say about doing the first Insidious movie for our next episode?
Diana, did you know that there were 6 Insidious movies? I thought there was only 2.
There's at least 4. There may be a 5th. If not, this is the 5th one. But either way, more than probably there should be.
Well, either way, I'm super down to do it. I'm
All
so
right.
excited.
You heard it here, guys. So if you don't want to be spoiled, watch Insidious, the first one, 2010, I believe. James
what it
Wan
is?
directed. You can find it on HBO Max as of right now. I know that because fun fact, I already watched it. I watched it the other night. got a head start. But yeah,
you
either
go.
way, guys. Sorry if you just heard my my computer ding. Thought I muted that. But either way, guys, yeah, so if you don't want to be spoiled, Insidious will be our next episode. We're going to be doing the Insidious films as a part of the series, leading up to the new one, Insidious: The Last Door. Yeah, so other than that, maybe we should plug some stuff. So yeah, you can find me on my own personal Instagram at BoosJacob, spelled BoosJacob. No other things, no capitals, no numbers, no nothing, just all, one word. You can also find me on my personal YouTube channel. If you guys don't already subscribe to me over there, it's at Former Film Student. I do movie and TV related videos, including ranking videos, video essays, breakdowns of my favorite shows and movies. So you can follow me over there. Aaron, if you want to plug any of your stuff.
You can find me at webkins.com/penguin437. You can also find me at MySpace at I never made a MySpace. You can find my Instagram. My Instagram is at Vixatic, Vixatic. Don't worry about what it means. And I wanted to do YouTube, but I don't think I'm going to be doing that anymore. Well, I don't know. We'll see what the future has in store for me. I mean, for all I know, I could
You want to be
probably
you want to
have.
be my editor? You can edit my videos for me.
Yeah, I can see about that, man.
I hate editing.
Yeah,
No, it's
I
it's
totally
such a
get you.
tedious process, but you should do
I
YouTube.
getcha.
YouTube's fun. It's fun. You make whatever kind of videos you want. The world is your oyster.
I'm down. I've been thinking about it.
Yeah, you
But
should. It's fun.
one of these fucking days.
But yeah, guys.
that's pretty much it for me.
Sorry, our first episode back wasn't the most exciting one, but hey,
Hey,
you know
man.
what? A, we got to
Hey,
shake the
man.
rust off, and B, we're
That's what
trying
I'm
this new
talking
format
about.
out, shorter films, which I'm glad we're doing the shorter format, because imagine trying to
Oh,
do
yeah.
this. Imagine trying to talk about this movie for an hour and 20 minutes.
Oh my god, dude, that'd be so bad.
It was hard
So
enough
bad.
for whatever we're at now. But either way,
Yeah.
guys, again, thank you guys for listening. As always, we do appreciate those of you who choose to listen to us. Throw us on anytime that you guys got. Well, I guess now 30 to 40 minutes is what we're targeting our episode lengths at. So yeah, if you guys got a half hour, less than your average 1 hour TV drama, so throw us on when you're on your drives into work, when you're hitting the gym, when you're getting your pump on, when you're, I don't know, just throw us on whenever, guys. It's a fun listen. We're two guys with two smooth, sexy voices. It's a great time.
Throw us on when you're fucking seeing ghosts, seeing the paranormal.
Yeah, if you're a guidance counselor and you are seeing ghosts at your local school, you may be entitled to a settlement. So contact us at Scared Speechless, and maybe we can help you out about it. But
You might be entitled to get the fuck out. Why didn't she do that? Why didn't she just leave?
because she cared about her students, that was the whole
Yeah, but
thing.
She
That's
could
like-
also just leave.
Like, I'm pretty sure,
It's-
like, the first thing she says is, maybe if I figured out why this girl killed herself, I can help my students.
Yeah, but it's like I know, and I actually remember that. But I'm saying like, sleeve.
I agree. Screw them kids. Just get out. Just leave. No one's gonna hate you for it.
I don't know.
Well, on
I
that
don't know.
note, guys, get out while you can. All right, guys. And we
Please
will
do.
we will see you guys on the next episode of Scared Speechless. Again, thank you for listening, and goodbye.
Catch you on the flip. Bye.